Okay, stop scrolling for just a second. We're going to explore this invisible game that affects literally every single person holding a phone right now. Did you know that up to like 90% of our daily financial decisions are made completely subconsciously? It's wild, but it's true. You're participating in this game that is secretly controlling your wallet, it's dictating your bank balance, and shaping your entire financial future, usually without you even realizing it. We kind of tend to think of money as pure math, right? Just dollars and cents, budgets, spreadsheets, the whole shebang. But the truth is actually way more complex and honestly, a whole lot more fascinating. So, why do we make bad money choices? I really want you to ask yourself this. Why do we constantly stray from those budgets we so carefully planned out? Think about that sudden burning need to buy I don't know, a $400 espresso machine at 2 a.m. The one that's currently gathering dust on your kitchen counter. Yeah, actually, I think we've all been there. Those daily financial decisions you make, the fancy coffees, the late night online shopping binges, that sudden urge to upgrade a perfectly good phone, all of that is just the visible tip of the iceberg. It's just what you can easily see above the water. But to understand why your bank account actually looks the way it does, we've got to explore the massive hidden structures lurking just beneath the surface. All right, let's get into section 1, the invisible money game, uncovering the secret drivers of wealth. Okay, so let's dive right into this. We're plunging underwater right now to look at the powerful, unseen forces that actually dictate your wealth. Basically, the hidden psychology of money comes down to the unseen ways emotions and habits dictate your financial decisions. I mean, this is literally the source code of your financial life. Think about cognitive fatigue for a second. When you're constantly making choices all day at work or at home, your logical brain gets totally exhausted. So by the time evening rolls around, your subconscious just takes the wheel. True financial control doesn't come from, downloading some fancy new calculator app. It requires discovering this hidden psychology operating way beneath the surface of your bank account. It's really about recognizing that your wealth is entirely downstream from your psychology. Moving on to section 2, emotions dictating your wallet, the short-term reactions. So before logic even has a chance to enter the chat, your immediate volatile feelings act like these invisible puppeteers pulling the strings on your spending. Now, what's really interesting here is that your rational brain totally thinks it's in the driver's seat. It genuinely believes it's making a carefully calculated choice. But the reality, your emotions are secretly making those purchases. Neurologically speaking, during a really stressful moment, or say when you see a flashy 24-hour sale pop up, your brain's emotional center, the amygdala, can actually override your prefrontal cortex, which is your logical decision-making center. Stress, boredom, excitement, FOMO, these are the secret architects of your daily financial decisions. They completely hijack the rational process, basically leaving your wallet to clean up the mess tomorrow. So I gotta ask, are you spending or are you reacting? Just let that sink in for a moment. Think back to your last Amazon purchase at 11 p.m. Was that a planned, logical, spreadsheet-approved decision? Or was it a sudden reaction to a terrible day at work? Or maybe an influencer popping up on your feed? Or just a fleeting moment of anxiety you were trying to soothe? That right there is the profound difference between spending and reacting. Confronting this dynamic in your own financial subconscious, like actually catching yourself in the very act of treating a feeling with a purchase, that's the absolute first real step to taking your power back. All right, section 3, habits shaping your wealth, the long-term conditioning. Now, if emotions are the sudden waves crashing against the iceberg, your habits are the deep ocean currents moving the entire massive structure over time. We really need to contrast these two powerful forces. On one side, you've got the quick spark of an emotional purchase, that short-term reaction. But on the other side, you have the deep, slow burn of daily financial habits, the long-term conditioning. Look, an emotional decision might cost you, say, $100 today. But let's look at the math on a habit. A seemingly harmless $15 a month forgotten subscription, invested over 20 years at an average market return, that represents nearly $10,000 of lost wealth. That is the silent, staggering power of long-term conditioning. While emotional decisions happen in the heat of the moment, your overall wealth is secretly and systematically shaped by your invisible, repeating behaviors. These are the things you do with your money just automatically, literally without a second thought. It's those auto-renewing apps you haven't opened in 6 months, the default settings on your retirement account that you never bothered to increase, or even just the routine convenience of tapping to pay for overpriced takeout just because you didn't plan dinner. These shadow habits operate entirely in the dark, but they are absolutely the ultimate builders or destroyers of your total wealth. Let's break down how this builds into a very dangerous hidden loop. Okay, step one is a hidden psychological trigger. Just imagine it's 5 p.m. and you get a super stressful email from your boss. Step two is the subconscious financial action. Because you're stressed out and seeking comfort, you instantly order a $40 delivery meal on your phone instead of, cooking the groceries sitting right there in your fridge. You spend without thinking just to get that quick hit of dopamine. Then, step three is the long-term wealth impact. This repeats every Tuesday and Thursday, transforming an unseen habit into a massive, tangible drain on your bank account over time. Breaking this exact cycle is literally the key to everything. Which brings us to section 4, rewiring your financial mind, bringing the unseen to light. We're finally coming back up to the surface of the iceberg, but this time you know exactly what's underneath the water. To actually change your financial trajectory, you have to actively discover your hidden psychology. First up, reveal those emotional drivers. When you feel that urge to buy, force a 24-hour pause. Catch yourself in that moment of stress or boredom. Next, expose those secret habits. Do a basic audit tonight. Seriously, literally go through your last month's bank statement with a highlighter and mark every single recurring charge. Cancel what you don't use. Once you bring these unseen forces into the light, you can completely take back your financial decisions. It is the absolutely necessary step to stop the subconscious drain on your wealth. The ultimate takeaway from all this research boils down to a very powerful shared revelation. We absolutely have to discover how emotions and habits secretly shape our financial decisions and wealth. Discovering this for yourself isn't just some, interesting psychological fun fact. It is your single greatest financial asset. It's infinitely more valuable than a hot stock tip. If you can master the unseen forces operating in your mind, the visible numbers in your bank account will absolutely take care of themselves. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Before you swipe away, before you go back to scrolling your vertical screen, ask yourself honestly, what hidden habit is spending your money today? Look closely at your own wallet, find that invisible current, and finally take back the wheel.